We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And we are underway here on EA Sports. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
That's complete to Michael Wilson. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down. They'll run for the first time with James Conner. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Two things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
Murray now. He'll find his rookie wideout from Ohio State here. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 42. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held him to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Murray. Pass complete there to Harrison. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a third down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on third down.
And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard stripe. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on third down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
Prater's kick is good, and the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd and 4. They'll run the draw with Mostert. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
This is 2nd and 8. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3. They'll try the air now with Smith. He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Wide open receiver complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Brock Bowers, 26 yards. And the Raiders are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. To throw, it's Murray. That's complete to McBride. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
This one incomplete and over everybody. Looked like a clear throwaway, but the officials, they're going to say there's a receiver over there in the area, so no flags, and it's 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Screen pass to Connor. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short, because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
Murray a give. This is Connor. He'll get this to about the 38.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out, because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. Shotgun now for Murray. Got his man. It's Dortch. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback, because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
To throw is Murray. He'll get that one complete to Connor. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage, because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. He finds his man, complete. It's Phillips. And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
From the gun, here's Smith. Pass incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Gino. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Gino now to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Here's Smith. This is Phillips yet again. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Right back to him for 10 more and a first.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Tucker, complete on the right side. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the 46, here's 2nd down and 8. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Here's Smith. The escapability in evidence there, as that one good for 15 and a first.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that 1st down pickup.
Throw left side complete. That's Phillips. Usually see those guys out wide get called for holding on running plays. Here a passing play.
Yeah, sometimes when you get this quick screen, bubble screen, anything where they're having to block for their fellow receiver, usually at the point of attack, and this time he got caught.
That's caught by Tucker. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. In motion is Phillips. Throwing is Smith. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Greg George deep for Arizona. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They begin on the ground here with Connor. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the 1st down.
Every guy that plays this game has plenty of people around him that are concerned for his health and well-being. He had no regard for his body on that catch at all, did he?
Middle of the field, diving to grab it? No, he didn't. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Dancing to his left. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Murray. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Caught. It's Wilson. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. Prater's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him, and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out come the Raiders. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's Zaven Collins into the backfield with ease and making the stick.
Let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Smith. And his throw is incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Out of the gun, Smith. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. On the return, Dortch. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. He'll start the drive with a give to Connor. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Connor going to get it again on second down. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Here's 3rd and 6. Murray going to throw. That pass completed to Dortch. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Connor up the middle. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Connor going to get it again on second down. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Again, a run with Connor. Eric Stokes in on the tackle.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
A give running right is Connor. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Flush to it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Malcolm Kuntz coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From the gun, a run with Mostert to about the 35, 2nd down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 6. Off of play action. Here's Smith. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And he works free. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Smith. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Smith. Open man right side, Myers. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Fourth down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. Carlson able to put this one through. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Flushed out right. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Now Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Tucker. And he's brought down. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now it's Smith. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Smith. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Myers. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Smith throwing again. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing the throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
To throw is Smith. Over the middle, hooks up with a tight end, Bowers. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Now Geno. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Zaven Collins leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. Geno now to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Now we got third and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. The kick by Carlson is good, and that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Cardinals going to get the football one final time here in this first half. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. A final shot before half from Murray. Looking downfield for Jones. Oh, and that is incomplete. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
That's caught by Tucker. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Two yards to go, second down. Smith now to throw. That's into the hands of his tight end Bowers. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Smith. He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. So they decline the holding penalty and will take the down instead, as that leads us to 4th. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Murray. Got his man. It's Dortch. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Murray now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to dive before he's brought down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
They run behind center with Connor. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From just shy of midfield, here's a 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Murray. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Murray. And they'll get him down. Scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new. It worked there. To throw is Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 6. Murray going to throw. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. To throw, it's Murray. Screen pass to Connor. Pushes past him. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 23. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdowns to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off. But a nice game there for a 1st down.
Jeremy Chin there defensively.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
That pass completed to Dortch. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
Snap comes to Murray at 1. And this will be swung out here for Connor. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Kyler Murray taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Cardinals are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. Throwing is Smith. Open man is Tucker. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
So from the 26-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. A run with Mostert up the middle. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. They'll try the air now with Smith. Throw left side, pulled in by Tucker. Now he's loose down the left sideline, and he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Trey Tucker, 62 yards, and the Raiders have moved out in front. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. So out now come the Cardinals. They trail 20-13 our score as they have it 1st and 10. The drive will start with Connor. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 7. This is Connor running right. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
They'll try and run for it with Connor. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he's on to kick it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. Second down, here's Mostert again. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important third down.
The Raiders on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw, Smith. Tucker hauls it in over the middle. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Running the counter with Mostert. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 51 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
On first down, they go with Mostert again. And he's across the 45. It'll be second down.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Now a quick throw out wide to Myers. That'll go for a gain of 7, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Throwing now is Geno. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
That's complete into the hands of Myers. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 26. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Eluding the pressure, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. L.J. Collier able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Naturally so. The defense was keyed in on everyone but the back on that play, and it took them an extra second to react when he got the carry. It's still a tough third down to pick up here, but a lot more manageable after an excellent carry on second down.
To throw is Smith. That's to the Notre Dame man, Michael Mayer. And out of bounds right around the 20. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. First down would have been nice, but now you get to kick the field goal, still go up 2 scores.
They tried to get it, though, didn't they? Threw the pass, got the completion just short of the first down, but you're exactly right. Run the field goal unit out there, kick it, put it through the posts, go up 2 scores.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that's, CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. And they'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. Murray now to throw. And to the left side here, Wilson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. That is caught downfield by Harrison. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Trey McBride, the target on that throw. And now it's second down.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Murray. That's complete to his running back, Connor. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The Cardinal passing game dialed in now. First down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Again, they'll throw with Murray. He's got McBride here over the middle. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
This offense has a lot of weapons, but you know they like to look Connor's way down here near the end zone. He's got that rugged running style, and that's a nice job there to hold him to a short pickup.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Once again, it's Connor, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. James Conner. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Prater for the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And now here come the Raiders. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Now Geno. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Kyler Murray now in the Cardinal offense. Down 23-20, 2 minutes, 30 seconds to play. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing now is Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
Things started a little slow for him as a runner, but he has really found a different gear here in this second half. He's been more aggressive, challenging the defense when he sees an opportunity, and now he has a 100-yard game to show for it.
Now Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Now Murray. He's got McBride.
Nice, well coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
Here now, 3rd down. Murray to throw. Screen pass to Connor. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. That's pulled in by Wilson. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
To throw is Murray. Going right back to Wilson. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Back to throw, Murray. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
His throw incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
So here comes the veteran Matt Prater in a big spot in this ball game. This to potentially send us to overtime. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to tie things up in the final minute. Prater's kick is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there.
They'd like to avoid overtime here, so maybe they can work the sidelines, but then defensively, how do they adjust to that if they do work the sidelines?
It's the old leverage game, and we usually talk about leverage at the line of scrimmage, right? Who's going to win with the low blocking and everything that goes along with that. But in this case, you're trying as a defender to leverage them towards the middle of the field, not let them get to the sidelines and try and tackle them in bounds in order to run the clock out.
Chess match here late. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
What I would do is either hand it off inside, or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. So the Raiders are going to get the football first here in the overtime session as we are back underway. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. A shotgun snap for Smith. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Opening drive of overtime. Both teams will get a possession, barring a defensive score. Here's second down. Out of the gun, Smith. He finds his man, complete. That's Phillips. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Smith now to throw. And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner, and now not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 92 yards rushing now from Mostert as he picks up a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They've had some success here in overtime on this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you, and until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
Up the middle they go with Mostert. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
3rd and 1, trying to keep this drive in overtime going. A big one coming up. Geno now to throw. That is caught. Touchdown. They strike first here in the overtime session. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Murray a give. This is Connor. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. On 3rd down, it's Connor. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
Murray sets to throw on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So it's a win here for the Raiders, and it was thanks in large part to the play of the man who's been doing this for a while, their veteran quarterback.
Yeah, he really threw the ball well, didn't he? Well over 300 yards passing, hit on 3 touchdown passes, and he's delivering the ball in rhythm all game long.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long and sign off from the desert.